Well, all right, Mental Health Matters. Yuanse Ayodike joins me on set, and today's talking point, hope you're sitting down for this one, is ignorance really bliss? I mean, Yuanse, you are a behavioral change consultant, and it's, I'm sure, a question that you're posed with all the time. Probably you ask yourself. For me, I think, personally, in certain moments, yes, I think in some things, if you see it, you can't see it, and it's best I do see, as they say a long time, what the eye do see, the heart can't grieve, right?
Right.
So the question is, putting it to you this morning, is ignorance really bliss?
Jason, I would say no, right? Because you're not aware of something, because that's what ignorance means, lack of knowledge or lack of awareness. Mm-hmm. Because you don't know something doesn't mean that it cannot hurt you. Because let's just say you don't have information about a school. I just give an example. Mm-hmm. And you put your child in the school. Because you didn't know, and it is something that the information you didn't have doesn't mean it wouldn't come and hurt you in the long run. If you're with somebody, if you're forming a romantic relationship, a friendship, a business partnership, what you didn't know about the person, right, could still come and hurt you. So information, even though sometimes it's not the information you may want, or is the information that you're hoping for, it is still necessary to arm yourself, because they're saying knowledge is power.
Mm-hmm. It is. But I'm thinking in terms of personal relationships and interaction especially. Sometimes there can be an overload, and there can be folks who are also malicious, who wants to, in their way, bring sometimes misinformation about a said person. So I guess that takes a spirit of discernment and having to really balance what you're hearing, what you're getting, and putting all that together. And that's why, for me, I think in certain instances, I honestly rather don't know, Yuanse. Is that a wrong approach?
Well, when you're saying misinformation, because you get information doesn't necessarily mean it's true, mm-hmm, right? Yeah. And knowledge, for something to become knowledge, you have to test it. You have to do some investigation. So if somebody come and tell you the sky red, right? Because you get it, don't mean you're taking it. You do some investigation, you do some observation yourself, etc. Hearsay is not necessarily information, mm-hmm, right? And I'm putting it that way because sometimes people use hearsay because it's the information that they may want to hear. Let's say they suspect somebody doing something wrong, and they get some information that the person doing it wrong, right? They jump on it one time, but it may not be true. So either way is to test the information so you actually could be knowledgeable. You see something on social media, you see something on TV, and because somebody on TV said it, because it's on social media, believe it true.
How does one get the information, process the information, and still maintain their mental health? Because again, going back to overload, you mentioned the school, you're getting this information. Okay, the school might not, you might have absenteeism with the teachers, it might not have an extracurricular program, and next thing now your head started to get hot. Mm-hmm. You already put on the school as a choice. How the child passed for it, oh my goodness, what are you going to do?
In this day and age where we have a lot of information and an overload. No, since I didn't say overload of knowledge, I said overload of information.
Yes.
Right? Now, it may be a little more difficult because back in the day when we only had one TV station and it didn't even have internet, mm-hmm, when you had encyclopedias, it might have been easier to sift information. But now, this is the reality of things. It is better to understand what is your lane. So staying in your lane and looking up the information that is relevant to you. So if you're an engineer, understand your realm. If you are a teacher, if whatever role you're playing in life, if you are a parent, a father, a mother, you understand the information for that. If you're sending your child to secondary school or primary school, understand the information for that. Everything else is noise. Now, mm-hmm, I know that is easier said than done because we are bombarded, mm-hmm, with information, but being able to sift it is necessary, because then we'll be lost. And it will be too much for us because it's too much to process, and then we'll feel stressed, and then actually we mightn't feel to do anything because it's just so much information.
True, that's where the overload comes from.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take it to the personal relations. This feeling where folks want to go through somebody's phone to verify what they might feel. Again, there are people who rather not do it because the ignorance of not knowing what's there keeps the ship afloat. But for those who venture into that space, who will tap into email, who will go all kind of wrongs to see firsthand what's happening, what's your recommendation? What's your perspective on that?
Jason, this is always an interesting one because people who, let's say you go through your phone and you find something, right? You know, you would say, look, my suspicions was correct. But what I would say is violating, and everybody in their relationship have different terms, right? If you and your partner have the terms where you could go through each other phone freely, well then that's what you all have. But if that's not the case, going through somebody, phone is never a good thing. Going through somebody personal, private information, whether you're a husband and wife or not, and again, it depends on what you all have. Even going through your children's stuff, that's a little different, because you are the parent, the governing party, and it's your phone. It's not really their phone, if you understand what I'm saying. It's your phone, and that you giving them rent for until they are an adult. So going through that is two different terms. One, these are two adults who have terms they agree on, and two, a child and a parent. And I'm putting it that way because there's ignorance, right, where we're talking about lack of knowledge, and then I could also add something in the mix. There's ignorance, right? When you actually have the information and you know the truth about something, but you're choosing to ignore it.
Wow, ignorance. I love it. I love it. I'll let you have the final say, you want to say. A very interesting talking point. Go right ahead.
Because you don't know something doesn't mean it can't affect you negatively. It's better to always seek knowledge. Don't make life complicated, because even though life is not easy, it's really not that hard. Thank you for listening.
Behavioral change consultant Johansi IODK for another impactful discussion. Well, he answered the question, is ignorance really bliss? And the answer today is no. Find out, you know. By all means, Johansi, sincere thanks. We're going to come back with our social media details after the break. See you soon.